if I'm a fraud, I'm a trash researcher. Come, let's deal with the book, page for page.
This is a proper written book drop.
That's it. Simple. I got nothing to say. What I got to say is in the book.
Yeah, salute to the book, man. This is a good written book, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. According to them, the book's trash and it's poorly researched, and we're trash researchers. So if we're trash researchers, come, let's bring out a book to rebuke this book, or come, let's debate the book. That's it. You know what I mean? That's it.
Yeah.
Simple.
That's not gonna happen, no.
All right, Too Many Complications Wartime. This is your host, Tarkino Nuku, and today we have a very special guest, great Chuck Morgan, Sabian, the Wabian Head Hunter Supreme.
Man.
I always I gotta give you a great intro, man, because
go ahead.
You put in so much work, and that I just have to make sure that you get the proper title, because right now, man, they can't do nothing with you, man. But I just want to thank you for coming on this show tonight, taking some time out your busy schedule, be over here, and let's just roll and get right into it, man. And just welcome to the show, man. What's going on?
I appreciate you, brother. Everything is good. All is well. Just working overtime to beat down the pseudo.
Oh, yeah.
Beat down the pseudo. And I've been on the phone all day talking to different people that want to jump into the ring with this stuff, man. So, yeah, maybe Friday I'm going to take care of something else. But yes, other folks are trying to jump into the ring on this stuff, because they're saying, man, these guys are absolutely nuts. They done lost their mind.
Yeah, that's something that all Colts got in common.
Huh?
It's one thing all the Colts got in common. One thing the mentally dead Colt leader, then all the retardation starts leaking out. It's this wave of it. It's like the Colt leader is like the stopper. It slows the dumbness. Once they remove the brain, then the mutation starts. And the reason, and because of that, it's the reason why we're here, because it's another retardation of spreading from Nigeria, So I guess he probably polite tried the same mess going on in a different format. So yeah, go ahead.
So with this new book that's out, or the book that came out in 2020, the Gaslighting from the East. That's going to be the name of it. So anybody from this point on, whenever you refer to that publication, you got to refer to it as the Gaslighting from the East, because that's all the book is about. It's crammed up with ideas, concepts, and storylines that were debunked way back, going back 2004. We debunked all this stuff. So whoever the people were that put this thing together, they never took the time to fact check, background check, vet the people who was telling this stuff, check the sources. They did nothing.
Mm-hmm. I call it
Go ahead.
I call it the frightening from the East. Because the scariness of how they even got away with this. It's just, like you said, it's horrible. Which we finna demonstrate that's the difference between us and them. If you're gonna tell the truth about somebody and put this evidence out, it should be right and exact, and it should be in line with the topic, and they don't never stick to the topic. But the book is like you said, it's a lot of copy and paste. It's a lot of stuff borrowed from your websites, a lot of stuff stolen from our research and other people that was, whether in known or not, crammed together. It's just poorly. It's really a lot of stuff. There's no citation. It's not no source references in a lot of places when you're dealing with so-called actual events. For this person who claimed to not be a so-called Sabian or a Nuwapian, his tactics is the same as them. They say things and it's not fully checked out, like you said. It's based on probably 5th, 6th, 7th persons away from the original 2 people that was there on the source. So it's horrible. It's hard to read it for me. But, you know.
The thing is for me, and I care less when anybody want to make a little hustle. That's a hustle for me. It's not any competent publication. It's pretty bad in terms of the whole setup, everything. I mean, the research of it. I mean, as you know, since we put out a couple of these articles on it, the research is horrible. And then it's very inflammatory because they are attacking people who, of course, would in no other way know anything about these people. By attacking the elderly, the dead, you know, people who don't know anything about this stuff. But we're going to briefly touch over it because one of the things I learned is just because I wasn't going to touch it. I'm like, you know, what can they come with? You know, the debate is over. We're in the locker room taking interviews.
Right.
So what is there to come with? They had nothing. So all they did was they collected old stuff that got smashed up, and then they're republishing, recirculating, recycling it to a people who may not be up on it. You know. So what I've just from the little bit that I've been able to go through and say, okay, you can marginalize the effectiveness of that book because all you have to do is just hit the main talking points. All you have to do is show the inconsistency. You just show the nonsensical jargon that's loaded throughout the book. And so one of the things that I just thought, the first thing that I saw that caught my eye, because, you know, my father was all into the music industry. So, you know, he had all the old records of rock and roll stars, you know, early days. And then when I saw the Ronettes, I said, oh, no. Please don't tell me you're going near Ronnie Spector. No. So what I want to do is I want to share my screen. And then I want to document this stuff instead of having to do a video and just do a read of it and all. So I just want to go through it. And this, I can put it up on my website as well. So anybody that wants to go and they can check this stuff and say, yeah, this is what the pseudos are doing. And we're going to go from there. I'm going to go to something else that I think is relevant to demonstrating the silliness of the book. But go get the book. I'm not saying don't get it. You need to get it so that you can see the stupidity. So you'll see that I'm not lying.
Right.
All you got to do is get it, read it, check the sources, then you'll see. So I'm going to share this, and then we're going to walk through it. Let me know when you got it up.
Look, showing.
Huh?
It's showing.
Okay. All right. So here we have, this is the article. Did Malachi York rape and father a child with one of the 1960s girl groups, the Ronettes? Because a lot of the Nuwapians may believe it, but no one with any active brain will. And that is not an understatement. So, as you can see, the purpose of this article is to fully establish for you the facts as they are regarding this attempt at gaslighting. It is a rebuking and debunking of an insidious, ridiculous lie that is being spread by way of the poor, informed Latter-day Nuwapian cult members. And the issue here is whether Malachi York, Dwight York at the time, fathered a child with a member of the world-renowned Ronettes, that singing trio. I feel it's important to offer context in an effort to aid in the debunking of this lie. Now, keep in mind the following definition regarding gaslighting, because that's going to marginalize their deception and their trickery. So as a side note, it should be of no surprise that the book has lighting in the title. I don't think that's by coincidence, because if it is, it sure works in my or anyone that's checking this stuff. It works in our best interest, because you can just simply say, oh, lightning from the east. Oh, you mean gaslighting. So gaslighting is a colloquial, gaslighting is colloquial for a specific type of manipulation where the manipulator is successful in having the target person or group of people question their own reality, memory, or perceptions. The term is derived from the title of the British play Gaslight, where a vulnerable protagonist is manipulated to believe a harmful and false reality that benefits the self-serving antagonist. Now, that's why it's called gaslighting, because these people are trying to alter reality, what took place, what people saw, what they knew, what they experienced, what they took part in. They're trying to gaslight. But anyone who has any common sense will use, who can use the science of the WAPO? Evidence, experience, and reason. So if you want to apply that, apply it, because this book here, get it. I'm promoting the book because I'm in it. They have made my website famous. No wonder I've been such a mass of hits this thing has gotten. So as a result, the book Gaslighting from the East is waking even more people up, because I'm getting tons of emails from people showing like, man, I didn't know this was going on. I didn't know about this, so that's a good thing. So I appreciate the brothers who put this book out, because it has almost a triune effect. It's bringing more exposure to WAPianism.com. It's showing the stupidity of the authors of this publication, and it's giving people an insight into levels of information that they had no clue was going on in regards to the whole Nuwaubian thing and other stories that's found within the book that they have to refer to the website, or even your videos and some of the things that you posted on your Facebook page. So thank you, fellas. So anyway, here's where we're going to start off. And I don't think it's necessary to go through everything point by point, but anyone can go to the WAPianism.com website and they can see it for themselves. So the following information taken from the above book demonstrates the sort of damage ignorant people can do once they've published the book. All right. So in this book, we see that the ill-informed neo-Nuwaubians who did very little research and fact-checking are attempting to create a fictional narrative regarding the 1964 statutory rape and arrest of Malachi York, Dwight York, involving a 16-year-old minor. Now the trick is, they're claiming that the minor was 16, who was 16, the minor was actually 16, and York being the adult, they're saying that Malachi York, was actually 15. And for some unexplained, undocumented reason, somehow he got charged with statutory rape of Gwendolyn Elaine Mays, who the misinformed claim is the fourth member of the Ronettes. Page 36 is where we go. Now they have here, now in the same year, the two started dating and were later caught having consensual sex. Notice that they put the emphasis there. They were caught having consensual sex by Gwendolyn's mother in the basement of her family home. Naturally fearing chastisement from her mother, Gwendolyn immediately accused the young York of rape, instead of admitting that the sex was in fact consensual. Now let's look at this. Then let me show you this is like contradiction. Wait a minute. Now if she was older than him and he was a minor, how is it consensual sex? It can't be consensual if one is a minor and one is an adult. And here's the thing, where's the evidence of this? Who's saying this stuff? Because one of the things is they took the pre-sentencing investigative report that I posted on the website, where it talks about Yolks' juvenile activities as his criminal convictions as a juvenile, or his criminal record in whole. So right here we have Yolks' criminal record. Now he has Yolks' rape accuser, Gwendolyn Elaine Mays, member of the group the Ronettes. You know how inflammatory this is? Now these people, this woman here, she's an elderly mother living out in California, trying to just live her life in peace. And then you got these dummies that are popping up with no evidence, no documentation, no court records, nothing, attacking a woman that they don't even know. But wait a minute, this is not Gwendolyn Elaine Mays.
Exactly.
So I'd like you to focus on the lie that's being perpetrated here. The pointed arrow and the caption would have you to believe that the woman to the left is Gwendolyn Elaine Mays. This is an overt and intentional lie with no sense of accountability on the part of the writer or writers. But these sorts of lies are throughout the book. Now, any general search, you can pull up any Google thing or anything so you can find out exactly who this is. And of course, we're going to go into who she is in a moment. So, when we look at Yolks' juvenile criminal history, here we have it. There's the docket. Anyone who wants to go and check it is right there. Or you can go on my website and I have it available for you. You can do your own independent research and confirm. You cannot debunk it. So here we have it. Total offense level, chapter 4, enhancements. All right. So here we have. Well, let me get right to it. Right here. This is the date. BeatStars.com. 6/25/64. All right. Convicted 7/10/64. Rape, 3rd degree. Sentence suspended, placed on probation. The defendant, yeah, this is the investigative report on in line 277. The defendant reported that he was represented by counsel. The circumstances of the offense could not be obtained. However, it is noted that the defendant related and his sister Dale Brown, who is Wakia, the one who put the book out, My Brother the Extraterrestrial, that's her. That's the one, the older sister, the one still living, the older sister, Dale York. So Dale Brown, this is Peter Massenberg's mother. Dale Brown confirmed that the defendant was arrested and charged for having sexual contact with his minor girlfriend, who was reported to be approximately 16 years of age. Okay. But they're claiming, where is it at? They're claiming that she was actually 18 years old. Where did I put that? Let me see. Okay. Say again?
It might be up. Ain't it when the above the picture? Don't it say that?
No, I don't think it has that. But if they're saying that it was consensual sex.
Right.
Okay, that would be okay. Sorry, say again. Can you pull up that part from the other? I think the previous page where can you pull it up? I'm gonna stop sharing for a moment. Can you share that? And you can go through it. What? Okay. So as we go down, I'm just giving you a quick glance of who the Ronettes were. They were a very successful group from the early 1960s, where you had the lead singer, Ronnie Bennett, who later married the crazy Phil Spector.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. The one with the big hair right there, that murder charge, right?
Phil Spector, he had the murder charge.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
With the prison.
That weirdo? Wow.
That weirdo, Ronnie Spector, that weirdo. I'm sorry. Phil Spector, that weirdo, yeah, man, you got to read up on that case. So here we have Ronnie Bennett. We have her sister, Estelle Bennett. Now, okay, let me keep going. Estelle Bennett, and of course you have Nedra Talley. All right. So somehow these fools, was it intentional or was it a mistake? If they did their research, I think it was more intentional, because these people have no sense of decency whatsoever, because they're attacking people maliciously with horrible accusations to make not, well, they're using her face. Now, the people who don't know anything about the Ronettes, they would see Estelle and think that Estelle sexually abused Malachi York. And this woman, unfortunately, passed away. Shortly after being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, she passed away.
BeatStars.com.
Now let me go on. So that's been established. That's the crazy Phil.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah. Okay, these are the original members. These are the only members of the Ronettes. We're going to get into Elaine shortly. Now, okay, so as you can see here, the defendant's sister, Dale Brown, related that her mother would often disperse the children with family and friends due to their harsh financial circumstances. Now, I pointed that out because I thought it was really strange. So you mean to say that the Ronettes, one of the girls, I'm just going to go according to their logic and their narrative. They're saying that one of the members of the Ronettes, who was a successful music group traveling the world, performing at the Apollo, opening up for the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, rock royalty, one of them girls is going to jeopardize her career, her reputation, the family name, to have sex with this guy, who was supposed to be, according to them, a 15-year-old, and she's having sex in her basement, in the basement of her mother's house, when, of course, with the money she was earning, she could have gotten herself a hotel, could have gotten herself a nice car. They could have gone anywhere. They could have taken them out of the country if they wanted to. But she's going to jeopardize all of that to be with an impoverished juvenile delinquent, Malachi York, Dwight York at the time. That doesn't reason out. What kind of right knowledge is that? But let's go on. Here we have Gwendolyn Elaine Mays or Estelle Bennett. How can you get these two people mixed up? This is rhetorical, of course. As stated earlier regarding the woman claimed to be Gwendolyn Elaine Mays, was not. It was not her. The picture was that of Estelle Bennett. Rest in peace. On page 36 of the cult book, it says the actual incident occurred in 1960, when York, who was at the age of 15 years old at the time, and was residing with his wait a minute. I don't know who the editors were in putting this thing together. Now I make typos on the website. I wish people would show me. But apparently they must not have even went back to check this stuff by reading it, because it was so hot to put this thing out, because they couldn't stop the flow and they needed to do something to try to interfere with the mass of information that was coming out that was destroying their master teacher and the silly cult. But let's go on. The actual incident occurred in 1960 when York, who was at the age of 15 years old at the time and was residing with his material guardian in Teaneck. Let me stop. In Teaneck, I'm just going. In Teaneck, New Jersey, and the girl he was accused of raping was an 18-year-old who would go on to become the fourth member of the famous 1960s singing trio sensation, the Ronettes. At some stage, listen to this. at some stage, there's some kind of now we're going into pseudo land.
Mm-hmm.
This is pseudo. We're getting into that pseudo ride where they say at some stage York met and befriended 18-year-old Gwendolyn E. Mays, more commonly known as Elaine Mays, first cousin to Veronica and Estelle Bennett, founding members of the 19th. Here we go. Now, let's walk through this thing here. Okay, so you have no information, you have no proof, you have no documentation, you have no police reports, you have no records of anything. But you're taking the bold step of claiming that here's what actually happened. That in 1960, a 15-year-old York who was residing with his maternal guardian, I just want he was just out there, all right, and somewhere in Teaneck,
BeatStars.com.
right, and he somehow got involved with an 18-year-old. But where is this written? How can we confirm this? How does your drifter just all of a sudden get hooked up with a singing fan? Because remember, the Ronettes didn't start in 1960. They were performing since 1959. But you can do that when you go to the bio. Not to find that up above. So then they claim, now in the same year, the two started dating. Apparently 1960, the two started dating and were later caught having consensual sex. How can a 18-year-old have consensual sex with a 15-year-old? What is wrong with the writers of this? Do they condone having sex with minors?
BeatStars.com.
That's something to think about, because you remember now, these guys are defending an admitted child sexual predator, a documented child sexual predator, having children with children. But for some reason, they, in their biased mindset, says, oh, it was consensual. It was 15, she was 18. It was consensual.
BeatStars.com.
So that's a good thing as far as they're concerned. But let's go on. So Gwendolyn's mother caught them in the basement. And naturally, fearing chastisement, naturally, I would think that I think she did have the means to financially uplift herself along with her minor boyfriend and take him to a location that wouldn't be susceptible for capture. But I don't think they fought past that. They were just so amped to want to come up with something to stop Chuck Morgan, Todd Nubu, and anybody else that's coming out and explaining the reality as it is.
And he's telling the story like he's sure about it. You know, using words like naturally.
Naturally?
Sensual. Like, how do you know this? And all the years we've both been followers of New York. Through the years, nobody's ever heard this story. I've never heard this.
Exactly. That is a very good point. Because I do remember when they were talking about, even Prince York was saying, well, yeah, but he took care of her and he eventually married her. Look, you think Prince didn't know about this? Do you think that anyone in York's family, you mean nobody brought up the fact that the Ronettes, because a lot of York's children are in the music industry. And you mean to tell me they won't use that as part of clout? Oh, yeah, we know the Ronettes. Because one of our brothers is the firstborn. Bye.
BeatStars.com.
Let's go on. I'm trying to speed this up around when it's too long. Okay, so even if York was younger and having sex with Mays, if she was older than him, she would be the one getting charged, not him. How dumb are these people? Is this out of the stupidity that they suffer from? Or is it intentional? Because they just have this thing in them that they just are just nasty people, that they want to attack an elderly woman who passed on by showing her picture, because the police were immediately called, and York, who was 3 years her minor at the age of 15 years old and classified as a minor at the time. Really? Really? Nowhere in this rape, the 3rd degree, I don't see age 18. Do you see where it says that York was a minor? Oh, I see it. His minor girlfriend. Oh.
You know, reversed it and made up a narrative.
Ah, the gaslighting. Or we had some sound effects. We had to put some sound behind that one. So that's what the goal is here. Gaslighting. They're trying to alter reality before your eyes. These little devils are trying to switch, flip, do the hopscotch. Let's read it again. The police were immediately called, and York, who was 3 years her minor at the age of 15 years old and classified as a minor at the time. You know, he was classified as a minor at the time. Would later be charged with statutory rape, which was precisely why he only received a non-custodial suspended sentence of youth probation in July of 1964 as a result of the sexual encounter between the two. Gwendolyn fell pregnant soon afterwards and gave birth to a son in March of 1961, which she gave the name Mark Brady. All right. Now, nowhere do we find proof. Nowhere do we find evidence. Here's the evidence right here. This little piece of paper, this right there, that's their evidence. It's self-made, self-professed evidence. And these dummies have the nerve. They have the gall to put one of the members of the Ronettes, the elder, Miss Bennett, and have the nerve to put this arrow and label her in conjunction with a child sexual incident. No corrections, and Amazon allowed this. But naturally, you know how we go. I'm already in contact with family members of the Ronettes. So, yeah, I'm gonna let them handle this, because this is a horrible accusation to place on someone like this who could not defend himself because she's passed on. And they had the nerve to use her relative as being a child sexual predator. They're using her face and naming Elaine Mays and saying that she was a nasty child molester. And these animals are actually getting praised by other pedophile supporters called Milwaukeeans. Now let's just look at this and see how the inconsistencies and ridiculousness of it, how it goes. York, at the age 15, is sexually involved with an 18-year-old fourth member of the group, the Ronettes, and that he somehow befriended her. Gwendolyn Mays, 18, according to him, and York, 15, according to him, are caught having sex by her mother. And Mays, at that point, said, "He raped me." The police are immediately called. They are immediately called. So I guess the mother said, "I'm calling the police right away." And York is getting arrested and charged. We're going to charge you with statutory rape of an 18-year-old adult. Do you see how stupid this is, man?
Mm-hmm.
How can the dummies be saying that this book is a good read when you just got this piece right here? This little tiny segment. this is good. Well, it may be a good read if you're looking at it as fiction. But they're advocating, especially Jake Kansu Hall, you know, the internet troll. He's going to promote this thing. Well, I'm glad you are, because now you're going to have to contend with this. Because now the people who may not have seen it, they're going to be like, shit, what's the All right. So York, at age 15, is arrested 3 years later for statutory rape of a then 18-year-old who would have been 21 years old by that time. So, does this make any? I mean, this is rhetorical, of course, but I'm saying to those that are watching, does this make any sense? What kind of right knowledge is that? Is this what Nuwapo breathes today? They're actually gaslighting you to believe in reality. They're gaslighting you to believe in reality that a 15-year-old gets charged with statutory rape of an 18-year-old. Can you show me any documentation of a precedent where this took place? Because I need to have that. Or better yet, how about a police report? But let's go on. You would have to be a complete idiot to believe a word of this lame cockamamie story. How it is even possible for a 15-year-old to be charged with statutory rape of an 18-year-old adult? Now remember, he had legal counsel. York had a lawyer, an attorney was present representing him. So you mean to tell me what kind of attorney is gonna say, okay, yeah, you have a valid charge. This is a valid charge where a 16-year-old can be arrested and charged with statutory rape of an adult. What kind of attorney who is the attorney? Because remember, the family was according to the sister of York, when she related that the mother had to disperse the children with family members and friends due to their harsh financial circumstances. So they can afford an attorney? Or maybe it was one of these sisters that paid them money. You get the point.
Yeah, what they're gonna do, because they too deep. They're gonna run with the conspiracy theory. They're gonna say that Estelle Bennett, rest in peace, had to commit some type of ritual. And York was chosen, and that's really what took place. And it's not in record because the elite, kept all the paperwork. They're gonna try to find an exit strategy.
Well,
it's too far gone now.
Listen, I don't think that anybody. Well, I can listen. They are lost. They have fallen off the edge of no return. So nothing that they say matters. It's what they have written that the consumer can see, and the consumer who has a functioning brain will read that and say something is wrong with these people. Who would write something like that? There has to be some type of mental issue with these people. These are cult members. There is some deficiency in the minds of people who follow cult leaders. And when that cult leader is removed from their presence, if they don't get the proper mental, professional help, they may drift off into further mental disorders. And that's apparently what's taking place here, because these nuts have aligned themselves. These wackos of like mind have come together, and they've somehow been able to get a book put together. And this is the damage that ignorant Negroes can do. That's what I was trying to make in the early part of this article. These people are dangerous. Dummies getting together, financing, and then producing literature. But let's go forward. According to York's family member, one of York's family members, particularly one of his daughters, who specializes in the York family history, including the DNA chart at Ancestry.com, Leah York, or Leah Marbury, she stated in an interview, which I had with her earlier this week, where she said that the oldest child was born in 1964. As a matter of fact, 2 were born that year, one in April, the other in June. Then in 1989, he fathered 13 kids. His youngest was in 2001. That was when I did. That was the one I did a couple of years ago. So let me find out where she puts it out. Let me find out. Oh, here we are, right here. This is what I had with her earlier this week. There were 2. There were 2 born in the same year to 2 different mothers when he was 18. 18, not 15, 18. One passed away. Denise is still living. This is his firstborn. Denise is still living. And the other was born in 1964. You had one that born in April 1st, 1964, and I removed the other birthday, and passed away in 1996. Her Muslim name was Aisha, and had Ishmael when he was 19, when he was almost the same year. So Ishmael, and we're affectionately known as Ish, was the firstborn male of York. York's first 2 children born in the same year were girls. They have nothing to do with the Ronettes. Now, this is just a little teaser. This is from off the York family chart, where you got. I'm going to just show you something real quick. See all this down here? This is their ancestry, this is their genealogy line. I'm not going to go into the detail as of yet because I plan to have an interview with her. We're going to discuss the genealogy and how it's genetic in the family and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, so there was an explosion of children being born. That'll come later.
Let me say shout out to Leah York for that. That was definitely needed. And thank you for that. And like you said, Lisa Mark was born in March. So that's a lie. Anyway, because his firstborn was in April.
I mean, it's not even difficult to unravel. This is so simple. All you got to do is just process it. So these dummies, as soon as the book came out, they said, "Yeah, let's call them out. Let's smoke them out. Let's debate. Let's debate. We can let them debate because we got the book. Yeah, we got the book." So I guess they expected you or I to. They want to debate. Let's go into it without analyzing, scrutinizing to the point of now criticizing what they constitute as evidence to support what they are teaching or advocating. So now that we've done a little processing, now it's time to take them apart, dissect them, as York would say, with dignity and grace. Now, this photo here is one of the only photos of Elaine Mays. This was at the 1966 Cleveland tour when they was opening up for the Beatles. Now, when Elaine replaced Ronnie because Phil Spector kept her in the mansion, wouldn't allow her out. That's another story. You can go to their bio on that. But Elaine was the backup singer because Nedra, she took over the lead vocals because she sounded like Ronnie. She took over the lead vocals. Elaine replaced her as one of the backup singers. That's what took place. So, you know, thanks to,
Nedra looks like Britney Spears too. Go ahead, my bad. Go ahead.
No, that's make that connection. That's one of the pictures like that. So thanks to your research team, they was able to pull this up. Like, oh wow, okay. So you see, I kind of adapted to this. Like, I didn't want them, you know, these idiots should probably go over there and try to raid the house, you know. So here's another photo that I got from an insider, and here we have the late Estelle singing, Estelle Bennett singing lead right here. She was singing lead, so they would go back and forth. But this is Elaine Mays right here. This is the one that they're claiming sexually molested York at age 15 and she was 18, which is a lie. They don't know these people. These savages attack people they don't even know. They attack you. They attack me. They attack people they don't know. And we're supposed to entertain these clowns. Now, you can of course be the bad guy and say, you know, hey, I have a bullet and you can entertain that. But then I'd be the bad guy. But people are being attacked verbally. And then now they're putting them in books and they're attacking them. And they don't even know about this stuff. I talk to people and say, I don't know, what book is that? I ain't never heard of it. I sent this stuff around to members in the York family. I said, what is this? Doc wrote that? No. That's some of the vomit that was left over after he left.
Peace. Let me and I want to give a shout out to Neb, because Neb is the one that taught me into getting the book. Neb Nayu Sample Nukuel from that actually put up the you already know Neb, that was go way back in the day.
I remember
University. I wanted to give a shout out to him because you know he had got the book. He like, yo, Tar, you got to read the book. You just need to look at it. So it's a lot of foolishness in it. I was like, you sure? He said, yeah, just get the book. So, you know, he copied the book for me and got it to me. So I'm like, all right, so this is why we're here. And I like to give credit when people is, you know, doing what they do. So go ahead.
Well, credit is due to that brother. Shout out to you, man.
That's right.
Absolutely, because had you not brought that to the attention of the talk, I wouldn't even mess with this stuff. I ain't got time for that. I'm sitting up here trying to move on. I retired from this stuff. I just started dealing with the whole Sumerian language thing, and I want to be one of the first black Assyriologists.
There you go. But now everybody got.
But now I'm being pulled back into the muck and mire to swim around with these.
It ain't roll. They not even keeping up with what the Sabians are doing. That's I'm like.
Of course, these are renegades.
Yeah, they renegades.
Now they're going to get some support. They're going to get some support from other cult members because, you know, hey, it's one of those deals that the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Right.
You know, I know how they feel about Jake Kansu Paul. You know, I know how they feel about Jake Kansu Paul, the internet troll. I've heard them. I know what they've scanned. You know, I know what they say he is. I know that. But because they feel that since they can't step to me, or you, or anybody else that has insight into this stuff, there's just going to be little sideline cheerleaders and hope that he's successful. When the Bama can't come to me, he can't step. He doesn't have that intellectual ability. I gave him his shot, and he caved. He couldn't control his emotions.
Yep. Everybody, when you bust them up, ran out talking about, oh, Chuck Norris kicked me out. No,
yeah, that's the strategy. That he plays the victim strategy. He'll antagonize people, disrespect people, curse them out, call them names, attack their relative, call people names. When the host tells you to chill with that stuff, oh yeah, you start going off on him because he wants to be the victim. So when they say, dude, you got to go. Oh, they kicked me out. They don't want it. They can't deal with it. They can't handle it. I'm the greatest.
Yeah, he's trying to be calm now, you know, and try to sound all intellect. He did what Polite did. He tried to work on his grammar and try to learn and master big words and pretend he's quiet as kept. Like I said, we know him. We seen him when he first came in. He was a beast running around just trying to find a place like the rest of them. And they want to be the cult leader, but the cult members who they're not even keeping up with it as a collective are not aware that these people have God complexes, and it ain't that many things left. Luke's already became the cult leader, and it's self-appointed himself and went on. So now it's
see what happened to him.
Right. So he over there not begging for bread.
Yeah, everybody, they're consuming each other. Like they all messing up. They're like any other crazy cult that broke off, and then you got denominations, subdivisions, bits and pieces. They take a little bit. I'm gonna take a little bit of that. You gonna take a little bit of that. I don't want that. I don't agree with this. It's a mess. But that's the cult world. That's the cult world. So if he has elevated, maybe I give him some. But if he's coming off of this nonsense, he ain't got a chance. Mm-hmm. So anyway, just as a side note, Ronnie Spector wrote a memoir detailing her life with the Ronettes, the family, the lives, etc., etc. And nowhere in the entire book, I had a chance to see it. Nowhere in the book does she talk about York. York is not mentioned. None of this stuff is. It's almost it's like overkill at this point. But I'm gonna do it because I wanted this to be documented so people can have it and look and have this and attach it with the article. Because NewWapianism.com ain't going nowhere. I just had a good brother, a celebrity, who blessed NewWapianism.com, the Cash App, with something that will keep NewWapianism.com going on long after I'm gone. Yes. I ain't gonna mention his name because he said, don't even tell him because they'll be coming after me. But anyway, so you can pick up this publication, this book right here, pick up her memoir, and you'll see it for yourself. All right, so now this is at the 2007 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. In 2007, they were inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So here we have the 2007 celebration, when they had they received their inductee. They became inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame here. So here we have Ronnie, of course, Nedra, and Miss Bennett here because her health was failing as she was going through other issues. She had a very, very sad life towards the end. And what's unfortunate is that if you read up on her life towards the end, she didn't need this kind of nonsense that these animals are putting out about her. They're putting her picture. She's innocent. I mean, how would you like it if somebody took your grandmother, your great-grandmother, and put her picture in a book and then say that she was a pedophile? Even though they're using someone else's name, they're using your grandma's picture and no accountability. Nobody's talking about it. They just put it up there like it's a matter of fact. Where's the respect for the elderly? These are guys that should be smacked for that, just for that alone.
Mm-hmm. One of them jokers just put out a video a while ago talking about they don't care about the pictures and stuff in the book. I just need to address what's about me in it.
Well, that right there, that confirms my point. They don't care. So that means that whatever you have written in that book, no matter how overt the lies are, because it's in a book, then it's true. No, it's a book of lies. It's gaslighting. And it's worse. So that should let anyone reading the book know that these people are not concerned with the facts. They're saying anything to give their man a pass. Yo. No matter how ridiculous, no matter how the evidence goes counter to their argument, they put it in the book because that's the fantasy world they live in. That's their world. That little book, that's their world that they live in. Anyway, let's go ahead and try to wrap this up. So, from what I understand, Mark Brady, who is the son of right here, Elaine Mays. Mark Brady, right here, on March 1961. Yep, there it is. Apparently, he was in the Baltimore community. I'm hearing when I was there. I don't know if that's true because there was a lot of, we had something called Space Connect. So I don't know. There was a bunch of people over in Baltimore, so I would have to find out exactly what year he was there. Matter of fact, I got still in contact with some brothers in Baltimore. I'm gonna call some later on. I'm asking, do you remember this guy? So this person, Mark Brady, has mental issues that has apparently not been addressed by any mental health professional. Because according to what this guy said, from what I was able to listen to on his YouTube channel, he said, I am going to tell, and he tries to do it with your voice. You know, because these guys that try to sound like yours, and then
BeatStars.com.
So I'm going to tell you all the truth here tonight. I never prayed the prayer. Listen, oh Father, let this cup pass by me until the other night. Listen, not only in this life, but I did pray that prayer 2,000 years ago. And the part where I say my spirit is willing, but my flesh is weak. I didn't say it because I was in fear. Why? Because fear is the exact opposite of the divine love, and love is my name. Where are these nuts coming from? It's like, I remember when York was teaching, he was doing this thing, but he attracted lunatics, whack jobs. And we used to see, I've seen they would come to town, right? You know, and then they would come to your class, and then they say, not the master is speaking to me in my dreams. And then the Messiah, and then plenty of people came in who said that they was Jesus, their name was Jesus Christ. And this wacko over here, he's another candidate. Now he's, from what I understand, is down in Georgia, parading himself, calling himself Atonement Pray.
BeatStars.com.
Brother, you can't even make this up. I mean, even your take my glasses off, these weirdos. So this clown right here, this is one of the Ronettes' relatives' son, born in 1961, who, according to the gaslighting book, is the son of York. They're claiming this guy here is Dr. York's firstborn.
BeatStars.com.
Okay. But nowhere is this documented. No confirmation from any family member. No confirmation from his own family. Have you noticed something? Nowhere, anywhere does he offer the image of his mother. Elaine Mays. Why not? Why is the guy who's filtering, supplying information to the wackos for the gaslighting book, and he's talking about his own mother, he's calling his own mother a child sexual predator? having sex with a minor. And he becomes the bastard. Mark is a bastard.
But this is the stuff.
Her son, huh?
You know what I'm saying? It's the same mentality, you know, what York was doing with the Motley thing. You know what I'm saying? That it's
And let me tell you something. I follow where you're going. Let me tell you something. And this is something that another one of his daughters told me. She said, there is no honor in a man that does not even acknowledge his own blood. She said that because they hold on to the name York because Malachi is not the only York. Remember, he had a brother, David Piper York Jr. Over. All right? And then you had the other sister that passed. I'm not going to even mention her name, but may she rest in peace, because I would never want her to be caught up in some mess like this when they're doing to this elder. He and his other brother passed, who looked just like him. The name York is a long name, meaning it goes back. There's a lot of people. It's not just him. So that's why a lot of them say, why they hold on to the name? It's because they hold on to their family. There's some others that change their name because they don't want to be associated with this sickness that name has been attached to. But let me go on. As I was saying, nowhere in the book do they give you the real photo of the guy's mother. Does she know about the book? Has anyone tried to contact Elaine Mays and ask her about the child sexual acts that took place? Because if it happened once, I'm sure it happened more than once. According to them, she molested him. I'm sorry. It was consensual. Has anyone asked her about that? Has anyone asked Elaine Mays around the world, talking with everybody from Little Richard, from Little Richard to Liberace, but she had a sexual affair with a 15-year-old and gave birth to a child, and this bastard is telling people about his mother that she did these sick things. Has anyone consulted with her and asked her why? Or have they consulted her and asked her, why have your son lied on you like that? What kind of son does that? The mother.
Got a crazy relationship too. It been, years ago.
Whatever relationship it is, it's bad.
I done seen, observed both of them, going back and forth, and you cussing her out, calling her crazy, and she calling him crazy. Like crazy in the sense, like off. And next thing he'd be back, mama, I'm sorry. It was just,
Look at him.
So there is some mental imbalance that is past just the Colt persona. There's some other deep issue.
And that's what I was trying to make, is that York, he attracted that type. York attracted all kinds of nuts. You had brothers that came in that were sharp. It was all about study, doctrine. Then you had people who wanted to be, in tune with spirituality by being a part of various spiritual orders, the ancient mystic order of Melchizedek, Amon, blah, blah, blah. But then there was some of the other ones that took it a step further, who would be in the monastery, dickering all night long, and then walking around thinking that they've been elevated to float in the clouds. And then saying that Melchizedek is speaking through each. And then we had to put these people out. So yeah, the Ansarullah community, the Nubian Islamic Hebrews, the Holy Tabernacle Ministries, those groups attracted all of them characters. Hell yeah. We had them. They were all over the place. So anyway, in closing, at least as far as this was concerned, this is just an example based on all of the lies that's told in this book and just dumb stuff.
BeatStars.com